My name is GUTES, and what I make is wire wrap jewelry. I use sterling, fine silver, gold here and there, and then fine gems from the earth. I don't use any glue, I don't use any sort of lesser metals like copper and steel. It's all fine jewelry, the same as you would see at any store. In August, it'll be 6 years, so it was back in 2007 when I started. The way it's created is just simply weaving. Every little winding and weaving and stitch that you see in the wrap is all done by hand. Nothing comes pre-created for you. You just get wires, and simply I slowly sit and look at my piece, and I begin with a really light just flow on how the entire piece is going to move. For example, in this, just a basic kind of teardrop shape, and then from there just start to input stones, start to input various flows and various weaves that start to complement the piece. And then over time it slowly grows upon itself and becomes a full, complete work. Something interesting about as far as the difference between my wire wraps from a lot of people's is that a lot of wire wraps are made so hastily, or to the point where they want to put a stone in there and they want to have some weaves like this, but in the end they don't leave it too sturdy. Stones wobble, sometimes pieces move or bend around. My goal in making jewelry is first to work on stability, making sure stones are set and they're not going to move, they're not going to ever come out of place, making sure the entire piece of jewelry itself isn't going to wobble, isn't going to move. And it's just something that I feel like hasn't been really explored too much in the entirety of our little microcosm of jewelry. A lot of people just haven't worked on it long enough to learn how to really set things properly. And what I want to try to do is make jewelry that's going to last you as long as you want that piece for. There's no stones that are going to come out, just specifically jewelry meant to last the ages. So where I get my inspiration from is typically just life, plant life mainly. I tend to look at a lot of vines, things like hops in particular. My work is very filigree based, and thus that's why I tend to look towards flora for my inspiration. There's just lots of natural shapes, lots of different flows and good contoured lines there that just really help me come up with the compositions that I end up creating. As far as aspirations, I mainly just want to be able to get my work out there to a larger audience. Instead of just keeping it into this sort of jam band scene that you mainly see wire wraps in, I want to be able to slowly expand and kind of bring it out to a more just basic and more generalized market and really get this sort of actual jewelry kind of more into just regular life and have people accept it as a real jewelry art. In the next 5 years, well, this year in particular, I'm actually going to be working with a lot of different artists here in the Boulder and Denver area. There's a lot of really great jewelers out here in this state, and that was one of my New Year's resolutions, was to finally really start working with other artists and seeing how everyone else works, because there's no institution as far as wire wrapping goes. Everyone is mainly self-taught, and it's always interesting to see how other artists work, and it's kind of nice to finally learn how to work on their own level. Aside from just working with other artists, I want to start making more than just pendants like this here. I want to start making things like scepters, things like maybe small sculptures to keep on your desk, and just kind of pushing it outside of the just jewelry itself range. Find more of my work online on Facebook. My name is Mike Guten, or if you didn't want to just talk to me directly, my group page is GUTES Wraps. And there you can find everything that I have for sale, everything that's been sold that you can maybe see as far as just looking at some progress that I've made. And then you can even maybe just order something custom that hasn't already been made yet for yourself. My name is GUTES, and I'm a raw artist.